Hi everyone, Jeff Marion here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you've been injured in a crash or in a fall or by an unsafe product, you not only recover your medical bills and your lost wages, but you can also recover for something that's called pain and suffering. And I'll tell you what that is in this video. This is a series of videos designed to help you understand personal injury law. I do videos that help you understand what to do if you're injured in a car crash, like this video right here. And also, I will help you if you've been injured in a fall, like this video here. So make sure that you click on the subscribe button, click on the bell to get notifications when new videos come out, and check back on this channel regularly to see if there's new videos and new information for you. I've been fighting for people who've been injured in crashes, in falls, and by unsafe products for over 25 years. I created this channel to help keep you informed and help keep you safe. Pain and suffering is a vague concept, I'll grant you that. But in many trials, it can be the main driver of damages in a personal injury case. Broadly speaking, there's four main kinds of pain and suffering. The first is physical pain. And it's what that encompasses is what your level of pain is. Do you have constant pain? Do you have good days? Do you have bad days? Does it affect your ability to sit, to stand? How does it affect your sleep? How does it affect your overall functioning? So how much pain, physical pain you're in can be a driver, and that is something that you can recover for. The second category of pain and suffering is mental anguish. I guess the best way to describe that to you is to think of it in terms of a diagnosis, like post-traumatic stress, anxiety, or depression. If you are in a crash or you are in a fall and you're injured, you may suffer trauma as a result of that. You may have nightmares, flashbacks. You may have a heightened startle response to noise. You may end up being diagnosed with post-traumatic stress. Having worked with veterans for the last 25 years, as well as handling my personal injury cases, I can tell you firsthand that post-traumatic stress can be as debilitating as any physical injury. The mood swings, the anxiety, the fear, the rage that someone who's got post-traumatic stress has. Those are the kinds of things that can prevent you from working. It prevents you from holding a job. It prevents you from dealing with others, from being able to go to the grocery store even. That you may have a panic attack being around a crowd. Or you may, if you're on the thruway and you start to travel at 55 miles an hour, you may start to have a panic attack. These are all things that can debilitate you. They can prevent you from working. So fortunately, we live in a time where we do cherish and we are starting to understand that mental health and wellness are very important to overall health. And it's something that you should check if you are having symptoms. Also, depression is another example. And that may very well be as a result of having a bad injury or a bad fall and not being able to work. That sense of self that you can have, that sense of identity that you have as being someone who's never missed a day of work, and having that identity taken away from you, that can cause feelings of helplessness, hopelessness, a lack of self-worth. Tie that in with physical pain. Now, this is a very interesting, and it's a red flag, folks, for anybody that feels this way in your life. That physical pain, that needing care from your family, or not being able to go out and earn for your family. You may find yourself saying, boy, things would be better if I just weren't around. What that is passive suicidal ideation, folks. And that is mental anguish at its height. Obviously, there's active suicidal ideation, which is having a plan to do something to follow through. The passive suicidal ideation is not specifically saying or saying without saying that if you were gone, if you were off this world, your family would be better off because you wouldn't be a burden to them. Or that insurance check would clear, that life insurance policy would clear and they would be set. If you or someone you love says something like that, whether that's in a personal injury setting or not, that is something that you should sit down with them and maybe try to get them to see a mental health professional, a counselor, or something along those lines. But that depression can be debilitating. That's a person that may not get out of bed, may not eat, may not shower, even simple, enjoyable activities, things that they always enjoy doing or love doing, like going for a walk even, they may not want to do. They may not have any interest in it. Crying spells. These are all things that you need to be conscious of. And this is somebody with depression, and it's something that you should definitely cover. And if you are in a personal injury case and you're feeling that way, make sure you discuss it with your healthcare professional so they can refer you to a mental health professional and help you get better. But also, talk to your attorney about that. If you are having a lack of self-worth, if you are having crying spells, if you are having this feeling of worthlessness, these are things that not only you should discuss with your attorney, and your attorney will probably happily help you get some counseling or some kind of help. But this is also something that you can explain to a jury and explain how your life has been uprooted as a result of this incident that's happened, this crash, this fall, this injury because somebody put an unsafe product out there. But mental anguish, mental health, it's not just simply get over it. It is very important that you get this documented and that you get help for yourself, but that if you are struggling, not only do you get help, not only do you reach out to somebody, but reach out to your attorney. We're trying to add some new wrinkles to these videos this year. I've got some new audio equipment that we're trying out, got some new ideas for videos. The main thing I'm working on is I've added some audio, and I'm hoping it sounds a lot better. So in the comments section below, not only if you have questions about pain and suffering, but also I'd like your, no pun intended, feedback as to how I sound, how things look. We're always trying to make this channel better for you. We want to give you the best video experience, so leave those comments right here down below and let me know how you like these videos. The third category of pain and suffering is loss of enjoyment of life. And let's look at it this way. Think of all the things that you enjoy doing. Maybe you like to get up and go for a walk or go for a run in the morning or walk your dog. You play pickup basketball with your friends a couple of times a week, or you have a tennis game with your friends. You're in a bowling league. You like to garden. You like to ride your bike around the park. Think about not being able to do all those things that are enjoyable to you, to basically be cooped up in your house and be in too much pain to be able to do those activities. Or, as we discussed a couple of minutes ago, not having the desire, the motivation, because you've got some clinical depression that's holding you back and affecting your life. So that loss of enjoyment of life, that's something that's significant. It's something that you can recover for. And again, it's something you should talk with your attorney about. The fourth category is loss of consortium. And what that means, it's a legal term, but think of it in terms of loss of companionship. It's oftentimes in a wrongful death case where the children don't have the benefit of the parent. They've lost the companionship. They've lost that father or mother figure in their life. For an adult, it's the loss of affection, the loss of companionship, where you might have just an injury as opposed to a death. It could be a lack of sexual functioning or a lack of desire to engage in sexual functioning, or lack of intimacy. And these are all things that are recoverable. So it's another thing to discuss with your attorney. Oftentimes, if I have a husband and wife, I will name the wife as a plaintiff, and she will have a loss of consortium claim. Same if I have a female client and she has a husband, or even in modern times that spouse can be same sex, you still have that loss of consortium claim. So that's another category and a main category of pain and suffering. I've got a free PDF that will help you understand personal injury law. Use the link below and I'll send you a free download so you can learn more. Also, if you've been injured in a crash or in a fall or by an unsafe product, please email me at the address below or contact me through my website, www.jeffmarionlaw.com. I'll sit down with you for free and go over your case with you. I want to thank you for taking time to watch this video today. So please, if you enjoyed this video, you found it helpful, click on the like button and share it in your social media networks. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and check back here regularly, and click on the bell if you want reminders of new videos coming out. So, until we talk more about personal injury, I'll see you in the next video.